right now at 6, what authorities say helped them track down the suspect accused of shooting and injuring 2 Portland police officers.
Portland cannot and will not become a place where someone can shoot at police and get away with it.
Plus,
you don't ever expect anything like this to happen, and then it does, and it hits home.
the road to recovery for a deputy coroner hit by a suspected drunk driver while investigating a different DUI crash. Then, the massive winter storm that turned PDX into an overnight stay for some travelers.
Delayed, switched, and then the new flight was delayed as well.
And later, it hasn't happened in over a decade as the Seahawks punch their ticket to a Patriots rematch in Super Bowl 60.
It's about us. It's always been about us and what we do. And now we're going to the Super Bowl.
Good evening. At first at 6, a significant update as Portland police arrest the 41-year-old suspect accused of shooting 2 police officers. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Mulco. Let's go right to Celine Stevens live at downtown Central Precinct with more on how investigators tracked him down. Celine?
David, so Portland police say 41-year-old Eric Olkers is in custody tonight, and he's facing multiple felonies. And now he has a lengthy rap sheet, but despite that, the police say that it's the community's tips that helped them find him early this morning in Northeast Portland and arrest him.
Oh, I'm relieved. I don't want him to danger to anybody else.
Relief after the man suspected of shooting 2 Portland police officers last week was arrested early Monday morning along Northeast 82nd Avenue and identified as 41-year-old Eric Floyd Olkers. Olkers now being held at the Multnomah County Detention Center.
2 counts of attempted murder in the first degree, 2 counts of assault in the first degree, and 2 counts of unlawful use of a weapon.
The firearm that was suspected to be used in last week's shooting was also found in the area. Court records show Olkers has a lengthy rap sheet with run-ins with the law dating back to 2003. His latest run-in back in 2022 regarding a bank robbery.
My understanding is there was a warrant in the system related to a robbery.
Portland police say they received over 200 tips from the community about the suspect in this shooting, some of which helped them and their several partners find him in this area Monday morning. I spoke with one employee at Park Shuttle and Fly who told us she believes the suspect was the same man who was harassing staff at her job last year.
This is a picture we have here. This is our video footage of the guy we had trouble with, and he looks quite similar if you look at him to him. We just had trouble with him, like vandalism, harassing staff at our job, vandalizing some of our co-workers' vehicles and stuff like that. Police have been called multiple times on him, and they've never been able to find him.
When asked to confirm,
I'm not going to get into those specifics, but again, people associated with that area were the people that called and began that process.
District Attorney Nathan Vasquez making it clear his office will aggressively prosecute the case.
Portland cannot and will not become a place where someone can shoot at police and get away with it.
Dave Vasquez also says that his office is asking for Olkers to be held without bail and that he will be arraigned in the next day. As for that officer that was hospitalized all throughout last week, PBB did share that they were released today. Back to you.
Great news about the second officer there, Celine Stevens, downtown. Thanks, Celine. One of the latest in Minneapolis tonight, where tensions remain high after a Border Patrol agent or agents shot and killed 37-year-old Alex Preddy, a local ICU nurse. Now, Border Patrol Commander Greg Bavino and some agents are slated to leave the city tomorrow as President Trump sends in Border Czar Tom Homan to take over operations. Meanwhile, the state AG took the fight to federal court today, demanding ICE leave the state, claiming the Trump administration is violating Minnesota's sovereignty. The Justice Department firing back, telling the judge agents are enforcing federal laws, not trying to change sanctuary policies. The judge there has not yet issued a ruling. Let's talk about Washington, where the governor says his administration is ready to protect residents if ICE launches a mass enforcement effort in the state. Governor Bob Ferguson, AG Nick Brown there sent a joint letter to the Homeland Security Secretary warning that Washington will hold the federal government and agents accountable for any unconstitutional actions. He's also backing a Senate bill restricting law enforcement face coverings.
So I think it's an extremely important piece of legislation, and these ICE agents at least have the guts to show your face. If you're going to be violating people's rights. They lack those guts.
The governor also announced several organizational changes to his administration to better coordinate response to any ICE activity.
I love Oregon, and even though we have some serious problems, there are solutions, and I believe our best days are ahead of us.
In your headlines tonight, former Trailblazer Chris Dudley announced today he is running for Oregon governor on the Republican ticket. Dudley played for the Blazers in 2 stints in the 90s and early 2000s. He also ran for governor in 2010 when he lost to former Governor John Kitzhaber, by a slim margin, just 25,000 votes. Responding to his announcement today, fellow GOP candidate Danielle Bethel, Marion County Commissioner, saying, quote, "I appreciated Chris's campaign in 2010, but Oregon is in a much different place today. When things have been tough, I didn't move away. I worked hard to become part of the solution," end quote. State Senator Christine Drazen did not address Dudley's entry into the race, instead saying, quote, "I look forward to earning the support of Republicans in this primary and to working with our neighbors across the state to defeat Tina Kotek in December." By the way, State Representative Ed Deal is also running for the GOP nomination. New at 6, in Northeast Portland, police have arrested a man after discovering his mother's body inside a freezer. Investigators say the 104-year-old woman died on January 19th at a home on Northeast 28th. A few days later, during a welfare check, her son, Richard Vineyard, told police he put her body in the freezer and later revealed he did it, authorities allege, in order to continue collecting her Social Security checks. He is now charged with abuse of a corpse. Well, Beaverton-based Nike reportedly announced layoffs today, mostly at distribution centers in Tennessee and Mississippi. That is according to the Oregonian. In all, 775 jobs will be eliminated. This comes as the retail giant tries to claw back sluggish sales and streamline its operations. These cuts are separate from Nike's 2% workforce reduction announced in 2024, and they come on top of about 1,000 corporate jobs cut last year. And the Clackamas County Sheriff's Office has released the name of the climber who died in a fall on Mount Hood over the weekend. Authorities say 30-year-old Thomas Hostetler of Portland fell about 300 feet near the Devil's Kitchen on Sunday morning. Witnesses say he lost his footing. Other climbers reached him and tried to save him. Rescue crews recovered his body Sunday night. Some tough news from the mountain there, Matt.
Yeah, always brutal to hear that kind of a story there. Just be careful if you're heading up to the mountain. Whatever your plan is, just make sure you're ready and prepared. All right, at Salem right now, it is 38 degrees. The clouds have come and gone. It won't be as cold going forward this week compared to last week. We had several mornings that were below freezing. Right now, we're still pretty much in the mid-40s there, 38 in Scappoose. It's 34 at Government Camp, 40 at Detroit Lake. So again, we have turned mild, and we're going to stay that way. Now, we'll drop to about 37 in Portland. Some spots in the valleys will drop below freezing tonight, but it'll be the last time this week that we do that. So we dropped into the teens yesterday morning, and Vancouver dropped to 18, McMinnville dropped to 19, but those days are now behind us. And in fact, going forward, we're going to see high temperatures climb to the 50s. Now, the east wind is going to return as we go overnight tonight and tomorrow. These are the wind gusts hour by hour for Troutdale, all up over 40 miles an hour till about 4 or 5 p.m. tomorrow. So you folks in East County, get ready. Here it comes again, and we'll feel this maybe up in the West Hills as well. Rain comes in tomorrow evening. Rain on and off through the week. I think Wednesday looks like the rainiest day. And as I said, it's going to be warmer. We'll be staying above freezing. There will be some mountain snow. We'll talk about that later, David.
Yeah, definitely need the rain. Really need the snow. Thanks, Matt.
Just knowing what I know about the scene and being on scenes, there should have been multiple fatalities.
Well, that is the Cowles County coroner talking about one of her employees injured when a suspected drunk driver hit several vehicles responding to a fatal crash. That's a photo of the aftermath there. Today, the driver appeared in court. Devin Haskins has the update from Longview.
43-year-old Michael Sturgill sits in a Cowles County jail courtroom, charged with vehicular assault and 10 counts of reckless endangerment. This photo from Washington State Patrol shows just how violent the crash was. Troopers say Sturgill was driving drunk when he smashed his truck into several other cars, and a deputy coroner for the county standing on the road.
Yeah, it's been very different. You don't ever expect anything like this to happen, you know, and then it does, and it hits home.
Dana Tucker is the Cowles County coroner. She says it could have been much, much worse.
Just knowing what I know about the scene and being on scenes, there should have been multiple fatalities.
Troopers were already there investigating a deadly crash on Spirit Lake Highway outside of Castle Rock. The driver, under the influence, had lost control and died. The coroner's office was responding and about to wrap up their night when troopers say Sturgill crashed into them. Deputy Coroner Justine Enriquez was standing next to the trooper's car when she was hit.
There was just a lot of factors here, and I truly believe that we had, I can only say thank you, God, for watching over everybody on the scene that day.
Tucker says Enriquez broke her femur and had surgery over the weekend. She had just joined the coroner's office last year. She says she'll be okay, but will have to take some time before returning to work.
We just thank God she's okay, and we look forward to having her back because she is very, very much a joy to have in this office, that's for sure.
Really close call there. Devin Haskins reporting. KGW News continues in just 90 seconds with an update from the side of the country now largely covered in snow and ice.
This is the warmest place we've gone, and this is the coldest I've ever been.
No kidding. A look at the impact on travelers across the country and at PDX. And can the Winter Olympics survive, at least in their present form? Why winter conditions are getting harder to find and how athletes are now getting involved. Art?
Well, we know the Seattle Seahawks are headed to the Super Bowl. So what do the players and the coaches have to say about the big win over the Rams and how they feel about their much criticized quarterback? That's coming up.